humans! Hi. Yes, as a woo, I'm aowuwu from We Form Rise newest generation Orwe. And today, we're going to watch some very interesting videos. Talking about Half-Life 1. I guess a little context. Right now, I have finished Half-Life 1. I've been through all of the gameplay. And we have made it, I guess, to both endings. And we got the job. Most importantly, we got the job. But even still, after finishing the game, I'm still quite confused. I feel like there's a lot of things that I don't know about this game. So that's why today we're reacting. To this video. It's called What Even Happened in Half-Life 1. Made by Leadhead. I'm going to watch it. And I guess I'll find the answers to all of my questions. Hopefully. In this video. Do you even know what the job is? If I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Nope. I'm just happy I am employed. I have no idea what the job is actually, I guess, requiring me to do. To be honest, I did choose not to get the job at first. I wanted to be a NEET. I didn't want the job. It was too early for me. But hopefully, after today, after watching all of these videos, I'll finally figure out what's really going on. Well, with that in mind, I'm sorry I'm a little late. Because I was making bubble tea. I have my matcha bubble tea with me right now. I have my boba. And I'm ready to watch these videos. Just as I was about to start the stream, I thought I needed a drink. I needed some kind of beverage to watch these. So that's why I went to rush over and made this bubble tea for myself. Hopefully, you prepared some food, some drink, something to relax with while we watch these videos. Without further ado, let's get started. Let me know how the volume is, alright?
Half-Life 1 is a very vague game. It's vague how exactly the game was intended to be played, it's vague whether or not Gordon is to blame for everything that happens, it's vague if G-Man is an ally or not. Hell, we can't even agree on if Gordon was wearing a helmet over the course of the game, or if the Gearbox expansions are canon. But above all else, the story is vague. Now, this isn't a bad thing at all, it's all part of the fun of the Half-Life series. On my recent video discussing the Combine in Half-Life 2, there were a handful of comments saying things like, this video has so many leaps in logic, and as I said, that's part of the fun of the series. These games leave so much to the imagination. Any answer you come to about what is going on is going to have some major leaps in logic, and that right there is why it's so fun to discuss these games with friends all these years later. As mysterious as the state of humanity is in Half-Life 2, we're shown even less of what's really going on in Half-Life 1. And as many times as I've played, the finer details of the story are still incredibly vague in my mind. So, viewer, let's try to sort out what exactly happened in Half-Life 1. Full spoilers ahead, and fair warning, I'll be touching on a couple of things that just straight up aren't represented in Black Mesa, the popular fan-made remake of Half-Life 1. And for the purposes of this video, I won't be considering the Gearbox expansions, Opposing Force, Blue Shift, and Decay, canon. And I won't be considering any lore that we discover in Half-Life 2. This video is just coming from the perspective of, it's 1998, you just installed this cool new game, what can we figure out about the story? We're going to be talking about everything from what the point of the rocket launch was, to what the hell the Nihilanth is, to whether or not the Combine is in Half-Life 1.
Ooh.
Obviously they weren't fleshed out or anything back in 98, but is there some force at play that would later become the Combine in Half-Life 2? Let's find out. Who knows, we might even figure out what G-Man's game is. So first off, let's go over what we can say for certain. Black Mesa was a government-funded research facility that was exploring teleportation technology.
I forgot this was a thing. Hold on. Hold on. I have premium. It was just not. I did not sign in. That is all. I forgot about ads too. I forgot about that. Well, while the ad break is going on, I guess something that I thought was interesting for Half-Life. I guess, how do I describe it? It's more because the game felt like it was pushing you through a narrative, and the only thing that you get to, I guess, learn was from the dialogues of the scientists or Barney. Everything that you learn, it's mostly through their dialogues, and they don't tell you exactly what happens. They only tell you, like, they expect you to do this and this. They tell you the objective that you need to complete too, but they don't really tell you, like, what's behind all this. Like, why are they waiting for you? It's always like, oh, the scientist team is expecting you to be here, and you're supposed to do this and that. And they don't really tell you why. It's either that, or they trauma dump on you and be like, oh, this thing happened, I'm so scared, the soldiers, they're killing everyone. At least that's the impression that I got while playing through the game. I feel like, as a player, as Gordon Freeman, you weren't given a choice to do anything else except for the things that they ask you to do. Which makes sense, because I feel like this is a game from 1998. And there is, I guess, more of a strict objective instead of like an open world game like how it is trending right now. I think you really have to like follow the narrative that was given to you. But even like that, it's still like how this video has been saying, it's so vague that you don't really know what is happening. I have been questioning so many things while playing it. Especially like, what are the aliens? What is that final plot twist at the end? So many things are just, I guess, unanswered. Everything is just speculations? I guess it is. Okay, hold on. Let me try to sign in. So we don't have another ad break. This is taking a while. Hopefully, this will work. 我过去了。Let's hope this will work. is this? It is not showing up. Okay. A little testing. Let's see. Does this work? Okay. I think it is working now. Where did we left off? Where did we stop? We go?
In Half-Life 1, and as many times as I've played, the finer details of the story are still incredibly vague in my mind. So, viewer, let's try to sort out what exactly happened in Half-Life 1. Full spoilers ahead, and fair warning, I'll be touching on a couple of things that just straight up aren't represented in Black Mesa, the popular fan-made remake of Half-Life 1.
Yeah,
and
Black
for the
Mesa.
purposes of this video, I won't be considering the Gearbox expansions, Opposing
fact
Force,
that
Blue
the
Shift,
reason
and
why I
Decay,
played
canon,
Half-Life, it
and
was
I won't be
because of Black
considering any
Mesa.
lore that we discover
Maybe
in
I should
Half-Life
play
2.
it sometime.
This video is just coming from the perspective of, it's 1998, you just installed this cool new game, what can we figure out about the story? We're going to be talking about everything from what the point of the rocket launch was, to what the hell the Nihilanth is, to whether or not the Combine is in Half-Life 1. Obviously, they weren't fleshed out or anything back in 98, but is there some force at play that would later become the Combine in Half-Life 2? Let's find out. Who knows, we might even figure out what G-Man's game is. So,
That's true.
first off, let's go over what we can say for certain.
At least you don't
Black
have
Mesa
to do the
was a
fetching
government-funded
game.
research facility that was exploring teleportation technology.
Here is where
They
we
discovered
left
that
off.
a mysterious alien dimension, Zen, was in some way linked to teleportation, a sort of bridge they could use to cross from one place to the other. Amongst the extensive research that the discovery of Zen prompted were experiments on the aliens themselves. Gordon Freeman worked in the Anomalous Materials lab at Black Mesa, where he performed an experiment that involved emitting some sort of a beam into a crystal from Zen, and this caused a resonance cascade, which essentially opened the door for life from Zen to be teleported to Black Mesa, causing a major disaster for everyone in the facility. After a few hours, the military shows up and tries to contain the disaster by, well, killing everybody who knows anything. Gordon fights his way through the military, following the instructions of various Black Mesa employees in order to launch a rocket that's supposed to help end the resonance cascade. However,
it seems
aliens
like the
continue teleporting
teleportation
in,
stuff
eventually
has been
becoming a full-blown military
completed,
invasion
right?
by the aliens.
Like, we've been through
Gordon
those little
continues fighting
portals
through Black
before.
Mesa until eventually he reaches the Lambda Laboratory, where he prevents a reactor meltdown by flooding it with
But then
coolant,
they're still
and eventually is
performing some
teleported
kind of
directly
other
into Zen, in order to kill some sort of powerful
experiment.
being that is apparently holding the portal open. In Zen, Gordon discovers that some aliens
the
are
reason
being
behind the
enslaved and that
experiment
the
in the
bulkier,
first
more
place?
dangerous alien grunts are being manufactured in some sort of factory. Gordon kills a monster called the Nihilanth, which clearly has some control over teleportation, and is swept away by a mysterious humanoid thing, which has been watching him this entire time.
This honestly
And this
summarized the
thing
whole game.
thanks him for helping his faction to take control of Zen, and puts him in stasis to fight for him again on some
That's
other
a
day.
good summarization of the
So
whole
that's
game.
pretty much the surface level story. This is all the stuff that you're pretty likely to figure out after 1 or 2 playthroughs. But I've played through this game like at least 30 times, and there are still so many questions. What is the Nihilanth? Why does it decide to invade Earth? How were these alien factories built? Why do these guys have handcuffs but the other aliens don't? Why does this rocket seemingly do nothing? What the hell is this thing we talk
What
to
does
at the end
the
of the game?
rocket do? Why did we
Well,
launch the
most
rocket?
of these questions require a fair bit of speculation to answer, but I think we can find pretty satisfying answers to all of these questions, and really start to piece together what exactly Valve's intentions
okay.
were for this story, and equally as interesting, what they were really trying to say with this game. Alright, so Gordon's teleportation
Still
experiment
trying to
caused a
learning-
resonance
they're
cascade,
still
which is
learning how to
causing
work with
monsters to teleport in
teleportation?
seemingly at random. Got it. These monsters are basically wild animals. They attack each other, they don't use any sort of nuanced tactics beyond pack hunting and occasionally lying in ambush. That's all well and good until we hear a banging behind this door.
Be more human. A double of you.
Hey woo woo, please pause when you have a lot to say. Not trying to be rude, but it's hard to understand either of you with your voices overlapping.
The alien slaves. For clarity's sake, we'll call them Vortigons. These guys are different than the
Sorry about that. I did not realize we were overlapping a lot. That is actually... Oops. My bad. I apologize, Steven. It was my first time doing, I guess, reaction videos. So, I'm still trying to figure out a good way to do it. So thank you for the feedback. I will consider it. And if I have a lot to say, I will make sure to pause it. Pause the video. So I don't talk over it. Okay. I guess to summarize what I've been saying is that I have a lot of questions. I definitely have a lot of questions still. And I hope this video will clear them up. And if not, we can maybe try to, I guess, match our answers here with our own speculations, our own conspiracy theories about some of these little details in the game. We can try to piece it together. Alright. With that being said, let's continue the video. If I have anything I want to, I guess, talk about, I'll make sure to pause.
Head crabs and the bull squids and the hound eyes. First off, they aren't naked.
Oh no! It's that scientist! It's that dude! Uh-oh. I'm so sorry. I did not realize this was a scientist. The scientist that I instant headshot? Now, looking back at it, I'm sorry. I apologize. This was the first scientist I killed. And I think the downfall started from here. Starting from this scientist? I guess I became a murderer starting from here. And then it couldn't be stopped. It couldn't be stopped. After that, Barney, scientist, I think they all lost meaning to me. In my heart, they all lost their meanings. This is where it all changed. Anyways.
And the hound eyes. First off, they aren't naked. They've got these green collars around their necks and matching cuffs on their hands. We saw them doing something to us at the moment of the resonance cascade. They cower in fear when they're wounded, they coordinate attacks against Gordon and the military. These things aren't just wild animals, there's something more to them. Of course, by Half-Life 2, we learn a lot more about the Vortigaunts, but still, what the hell are they supposed to be in this game? And if this is some sort of coordinated invasion of Earth, as their intellect suggests...
Wait, so we learn more about them in Half-Life 2. Fuck! Okay, we'll have to revisit after we play Half-Life 2.
Then why are random wild animals teleporting in with them? Why do some teleportations seem totally random, and others seem like coordinated interdimensional flanks at Gordon's expense? Well, believe it or not, I think the answer goes a bit deeper than it's just for the sake of gameplay, and that answer begins with one of the most confusing parts of Half-Life 1's story, an aspect of the story that still seems weird, even after having played this game God only knows how many times. The rocket launch. Pretty much all that we learn about this rocket over the course of Half-Life 1 is what this guard tells us at the end of Power Up.
He said something about a Lambda team needing the satellite in orbit if they were ever going to clean up this mess.
Okay, so the rocket is supposed to help stop the aliens from teleporting in. Makes sense, but, well, it doesn't do that.
It didn't work, yeah. Sure, they sent it, the satellite, the rocket, but it didn't do anything. The rocket is the part that got me really confused. It almost felt like they tried to add it in just to have like another few chapters. We don't see the rocket in the Zen world, do we? I don't think so. Okay, let's see what he has to say about this.
If anything, the alien teleportation is more brutal than ever after the rocket is launched. However, there's one interesting fact here that I've never seen anyone talking about. Head crabs, bull squids, hound eyes, they're all teleporting in basically at random. Sure, hound eyes and head crabs tend to hunt in packs, and we see them grouping up together accordingly, but I mean, look at this. Or this. There are more examples, but I think you get me. This isn't some sort of a coordinated invasion at all. The Vortigaunts, however, that's a different story. Anytime we see them teleporting in, they're doing it in a way that makes tactical sense. Look at that footage I just showed again. They're teleporting in specifically to flank these two soldiers. By the way, I'm using the no target console command in a lot of these clips, essentially making me invisible to enemies. Anyways, we see the Vortigaunts setting up front lines and staging ambushes against Gordon and the soldiers. They even try that teleport flanking trick on Gordon a couple of times. These monsters, they're just appearing and wreaking havoc. The Vortigaunts, well, they're part of a full-fledged invasion of Black Mesa. So why
Wait, I know he said that, but there is that one part, remember where I got soft locked? The part where they have a bunch of those hunts? They had a lot of like dog cages for them too? If they teleport in, wait, is that just a facility researching about the dogs, or are they trying to tame them? So this guy is saying the dogs, the crab, and the alligators, all of them are just wild animals, right? They must, yeah, either they must be researching them, or someone is keeping a whole pack of them in the facility. Okay, so they are being studied. But we only saw them studying the dogs. I don't think they ever... Oh no, they do. They do have like some of the head crabs in the labs later on. They have like a whole pack of them there. The one that we use like laser beams to kill. Bow squids. They're called bow squids? I've been just calling them alligators for the longest time. They are squids? Bow squids? Okay, they do have alligator shape. You have to agree with me, humans. They do have an alligator shape. Look at their face, tentacles? I don't think I really looked at their face. Because every time they would just spit at you, no? They're like... Every time I look at them, they're just like... Oh, chicken? What aspect of the chicken does it have? That's not a chicken. Oh, chicken? Okay. Maybe I need to go back and take a closer look at them. The legs? They have chicken legs? Okay. We're gonna pause the video if we ever see them again. I need to see if they have the chicken legs or not.
does any of this matter, and what does it have to do with this rocket launch? Well, believe it or not, the alien teleportation gets a whole lot less random after this rocket launch. Seriously, this was just a random thought I had to try and justify the rocket launch, and I decided to go through the game, specifically trying to pay attention to the teleportation, and there's a very real shift in how the aliens teleport in after the rocket launch. Look at this, for instance. Right as we begin residue processing, we see this headcrab teleport in. Looks pretty random, right? Well, this is actually a distraction so that we get attacked by the second headcrab that teleports in right above Gordon. Or this bull squid a bit later. You can't tell me that this wasn't specifically intended to kill Gordon. Hell, they may have even been trying to telefrag him. The Vortigaunts and the Grunts get even more malicious with their teleporting too, like this one right here, who appears just as the catwalk beneath you collapses, and you cross a slippery floor. Or a bit later, we get a serious flank against Gordon from some more teleporting Vortigaunts, or right here when a group of them appears behind you, in a room you had previously cleared out.
Sorry. He died! Yeah, there was definitely a lot more flanks later on in the game. I thought it could be more of like a difficulty thing. It's more like you're done with the tutorials. Now you're into the real game. Like he's making a point. He's making a point.
After the rocket launch, there were only like 2 more instances of monsters, by which I mean everything but grunts and vorts, teleporting in. From this point on, every instance of teleporting we see is clearly deliberate and tactical. So why does any of this matter? Well, one detail that I've always loved about the Half-Life series is how many innocent people Gordon inadvertently gets killed. I mean, you've got this elevator, this guy right here, most of the security guards and scientists that follow Gordon, and that's just in the first game. Plus, there's of course the unavoidable fact that Gordon played a major hand in the death of, well, literally everybody that dies in the entire Half-Life series, and that he helped cause the resonance cascade. Keep that idea of Gordon getting...
Wait, him saying that made me feel better. To be fair, at the end of the gameplay, I got a little tired of dealing with the scientist and Barney. And I was on the killing spree. I was on a killing spree on all of them. Now, just knowing that probably the scientist and Barney died even without me being there, and that somehow saved my consciousness, alright? The rest of people were going to die anyways? Exactly. I did them a favor by taking them out. They probably experienced more pain if they stayed. If they stayed there, they probably experienced more pain.
People killed in mind. It'll be important soon. Okay, so the rocket was supposed to stop the teleportation, but they keep on teleporting in. As we learn later in the game, this is because while the rocket closed the portal on our side, the Nihilanth is still holding the portal open on its side, in Zen. Well, it seems to me like Gordon closing the portal on our side is what prompted the Nihilanth to start its full-fledged invasion of Earth. When it became harder to maintain the portal, it realized that its time was limited, and that humans could indeed stop its plan if it didn't act fast. Everything we see here, it's a Hail Mary from the Nihilanth, trying to save as many of its species as it can, or kill all the humans involved, before it loses the opportunity that the resonance cascade gave it. So, obviously the game doesn't just give you the answers to any of this, it doesn't confirm any of this stuff, we're just speculating. We'll address that, but as long as we're speculating, we've got 2 big questions left to answer. First, what the hell is the Nihilanth and what are its motives? And second, what the hell is this thing and what are its motivations? So, in true Half-Life fashion, it's easier to speculate about the giant flying god of teleportation space baby than it is to speculate about the man in a suit, so we'll start with the Nihilanth. So what do we know so far? The resonance cascade allowed it to move its various organisms to Earth from this weird bridge dimension. It has some sort of insane powers of teleportation, allowing it to both hold a portal to Earth open and teleport Gordon at will, and it somehow coaxed these creatures to fight for it. There's more here, but for now, let's go over some relevant facts. First, this alien armada uses biological life as vehicles, sometimes modifying them when necessary, such as the mana rays that both mine and Zen and airdrop aliens into Black Mesa, or the alien grunts themselves. They even have a factory to manufacture these soldiers. Second, the Vortigaunts are seemingly mind-controlled, since the factory workers don't attack Gordon unless provoked. It's safe to assume—
Are these like mutants made by aliens? What are these soldiers? And the fact that these soldiers had the little pew pew mosquito gun. Like, is this a technology? Is this something that grow on the aliens? I have so many questions about it. And Gordon being able to use it also makes me question. Somehow we're just, as a human, Gordon Freeman, we can use the alien technology? Because here, it does just looks like an arm on the alien. Does that mean the gun that Gordon used, it was cut off from one of these aliens? Are they even detachable? So many questions.
assume that these grunts are also being mind-controlled as well, or have been bred to have minimal free will and just fight. Before we go ahead and say that this is all the Nihilanth's doing, let's go over some more obscure ideas. So first off, something that I've never heard anyone talking about. A detail that's on your screen right now, but that you probably haven't noticed. A detail so subtle that it wasn't even present in Black Mesa. The Nihilanth's third arm has been grafted onto it. The alien controllers, which highly resemble the Nihilanth straight down to the splitting head and the energy ball attacks, have a natural third arm, but not the Nihilanth. Not to mention, the Nihilanth almost literally says that it's the last of its kind.
I am the last.
This thing isn't the same species as the alien controllers. Plus, there's the obvious modifications made to its lower half, and most damning of all, the cuffs. In my mind, there are two ways of interpreting these handcuffs. Theory 1, whatever force is controlling the Vortigaunts through these cuffs is also controlling the Nihilanth. The Nihilanth has so much agency over the course of this game, though, that I doubt this one. Plus, it doesn't explain the third arm. Theory 2, however, makes a bit more sense to me. The cuffs are what allow the Nihilanth to control the Vortigaunts. This would totally explain the third arm. It's been grafted on the Nihilanth to make it, well, let's say to make it compatible with the Vortigaunts. That one makes more sense to me, but it raises one big question. Who the hell grafted this third arm onto the Nihilanth? Who put the cuffs on it? Who added all of this stuff to its lower half? Well, everyone I've talked to about this said that it probably just gave itself those enhancements. But, well, listen to this line.
Their slaves we are, their slaves we are.
Yep.
They're slaves? Of who? That also makes me wonder, like the floating ones that has the third arm, the aliens, these guys, are these also soldiers? They have the third arm, they don't have handcuffs. What are they? But they don't seem like the owner of the Nihilanth either. Space Baby has a tragic backstory. Traumatized Space Baby was enslaved by an unknown species. I don't know. Those are named alien controllers. Alien controllers? As in they control the bigger soldiers? Yeah. Also, they're wearing red panties. I did not notice that. The alien controllers? The Vortigaunts don't attack you. Once a controller shows up, they do. Huh. I guess they do have the big brain. It looks like the masterminds controlling everyone. Which makes sense. Small detail you can miss if you just shoot all aliens outside. I wouldn't do that. Did I? I don't think so. Did I? They all are probably matching red. Maybe, mayhap. Maybe they're Chinese too. They have to wear the red underwear to have a good year. Man, if you didn't shoot that guy in the dumpster, he would have told you everything that was going on. What the fuck? Hold on. You're messing with me, right? You're messing with me, right? No way. There's no way that dude is going to tell me everything. No, now you make me feel guilty. Am I getting gaslit? Will he actually tell you something important? Hold on. Did I miss something very important because I killed that guy? Um, You'll never know. Nothing. That is so sad. Nope. There's nothing important about him. He's just scared. He doesn't want to die. How could you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It was the killer instinct. I saw a quote-unquote enemy. I shoot. I have that FPS player instinct.
Third arm, but not the Nihilanth. Not
Okay,
to
let's
mention
go
the
back
Nihilanth. But
to
well,
where he was
listen to this
talking
line.
about the slaves.
Their slaves we are, their slaves we are.
Yep, this thing goes deeper than the Nihilanth. Now, I'm not going to say that Valve had planned out the
There's
Combine
a-
and the Advisors and the Combine
there's a
Overworld and all of
mastermind
that.
behind
That'd
all
be
this.
ridiculously cool, but ridiculous nonetheless. All I'm saying is that there is some sort of
Yeah, if you look at them, they don't attack at all. They're just doing their work. The Wardigons, they're just working as usual. They don't even notice you're there.
force at play here, even more powerful than the Nihilanth, and it's taken control of various alien species, going so far as to enslave them and modify them with technology to better suit their needs. They manufacture soldiers, and they have only a loose control over teleportation, needing humans to do some of the work for them. These guys are a whole lot like the Combine would turn out to be.
They
Back
know
to the
this is, they just don't
modifications,
choose
in
to
the case of
kill.
the Nihilanth, this seems to be
Well,
a creature modified to be
thankfully-
able to maintain control over the
Thankfully,
Vortigons.
I just shoot whatever I can.
So whether this
of course
all-powerful
they will
force
notice
that's
me.
enslaved the Nihilanth would later become Half-Life 2's Combine or not, I'll leave up to you. Personally, I think that's absolutely the case. Regardless, we've still got some more questions. The big one is simply whether or not this force is the one invading Earth, or if the Nihilanth was acting independently. We're getting very deep into speculation here, and having to keep up with a whole lot of very subtle and impossible to confirm lore. Here's a fun fact to break the pace. When you get the Hive Hand, you'll pretty quickly learn that it's actually able to shoot around corners, and it has infinite ammo. If you then decide to fire it around corners every now and then to safely check for enemies, you might find that it actually triggers this sentry gun, helping you to avoid its otherwise dangerous sneak attack. Anyways, is this massive force that I'll just call the Combine for familiarity's
not
sake
notice
the ones
that.
invading Earth in Half-Life 1, or is the Nihilanth invading Earth on
Because
its
I
own?
didn't like the
Well,
mosquito
given
gun.
that we know that the Combine are fans of mind control in this game, and that the Nihilanth is able to communicate to Freeman that it's been enslaved, I'm going to say that it's acting independent of the Combine. However, it still has these factories where it manufactures soldiers, it still uses mana rays to mine the terrain of Zen and transport troops, so what the hell? Well, with that last question, we've gotten all the background out of the way. Buckle up, because I'm about to lay down my grand interpretation of all of this lore, and give you my take on the
Ooh,
entirety of Half-Life
okay.
1's story, all in one go. At some point in the past, the Combine conquered the Nihilanth species and killed off all but one of them.
Last I am the last.
It kept this last Nihilanth around in order to modify it, grafting a third arm onto it, so that they could use its mind control powers to gain control over the Vortigons, some other species from some other planet that it had conquered. It used these Vortigons as light infantry and as slaves, to create more subjects, or to do anything else that they may have needed biological labor for. At some point, the Nihilanth used its teleportation powers to transport as many of the Combine's slaves as possible to Zen, a bridge dimension between points in space that the Combine is unable to get to on its own. Once in Zen, the Nihilanth used its control over the Vortigons to build factories in which to manufacture soldiers, appointing an allied species, the alien controllers, to watch over these factories and play foremen. Using these factories, it slowly started building up its army so that it would be ready for anything. The Nihilanth was just hiding from the Combine, growing up.
Wait, but why does the alien controllers... They're not enslaved. The aliens... The alien controllers are not enslaved. Why would they listen to this, like, overarching species that controls the Nihilanth? Or does he mean like the Nihilist is mind controlling these alien controllers? Yeah, the controllers, they don't have any handcuffs, they don't have modifications, they don't have, I guess, restraint on them. Bigger guns. There's a bigger gun pointing at them. They're like alien police? Okay. Well, let's keep watching. I'll talk about it later.
Up enough power to eventually take them on or run away to where they couldn't follow. At some point a bit later on Earth, scientists at Black Mesa discovered a way to travel into Zen and started collecting samples. They started doing experiments on the alien life and on Zen crystals, both of which could be found all over the place in Zen. One day, young MIT graduate Gordon Freeman was a part of one of these experiments, and this one went wrong. It caused a resonance cascade scenario, which opened up a portal between Earth and the crystal's home dimension, Zen. This caused alien species to teleport in at random and wreak havoc on Black Mesa. The Nihilanth, with its great control over teleportation, sent some of its Vortigaunts in to probe this new place. But by the time it had confirmed that the Combine wasn't here, Gordon had already taken measures to close the portal and end the resonance cascade. He fired a rocket into space, which allowed the Lambda team to close the portal on our side. This stopped the random teleportation of aliens, but it forced the Nihilanth to maintain the portal entirely on its own. It couldn't keep this up forever, and it knew that Gordon, or some other human, would continue trying to close the portal, so it began a full-fledged military invasion of Black Mesa to try and stop the humans from ruining this opportunity to get as far away from the Combine as possible. Gordon was one of the few survivors of the Nihilanth's invasion of Black Mesa, and he eventually made it to the teleportation chamber in Black Mesa and traveled to Zen, where he fought his way through the soldier manufactories, and eventually to the Nihilanth's chamber, where he killed it, thus destroying any chance that the aliens we fought over the course of the game had of starting anew and living a life that wasn't dominated by the Combine. Then, Gordon gets abducted by a space god. The G-Man scene in Half-Life 1 reminds me of something that I haven't really touched on yet in this video. Half-Life 1 has never been a game about interdimensional politics.
G-Man? The G in G-Man stands for God? Space God? Okay, you know what? Hold on. I will continue. I will talk later.
Or an alien underground railroad, or manufactured alien soldiers battling against human soldiers, or any of that. Half-Life 1 as a whole is about one thing: humans trying to conquer forces that are beyond their comprehension, and then doing their best to clean it up when that inevitably backfires. It's a classic Icarus story. Mankind's hubris turned out to be its downfall. As much as I'd love to conclude this video by pinpointing exactly where G-Man sits in the lore, discussing his history and motivations, that just plain isn't possible. Or if it is, it's well beyond me. I just spent about 18 minutes dissecting every single intricate detail of this game's story, and I don't have the slightest clue what G-Man's angle is. We know that he and his employers wanted control of Zen, which probably means that they wanted the Nihilanth dead. We know that he was in Black Mesa before the resonance cascade, probably meaning that he either caused it or knew ahead of time that it was going to happen. But that's about all I got, at least in terms of what Half-Life 1 tells us. Just about everything I've said over the course of this video was pure speculation. That's half the fun of Half-Life. It's the reason videos like this are still cropping up 23 years after the game's launch. We're all just, well, trying to speculate on affairs that are beyond our comprehension. We're no different than the humans in the game. We're just trying to understand ideas that we couldn't possibly understand. The most important word in the entirety of Half-Life 1 is spoken by G-Man in the final minutes of the game.
I have recommended your services to my employers.
Employers. That's what this is all about. This teleportation master organism, it's not the bottom of the iceberg. It's running scared from some all-powerful alien conglomerate. That all-powerful alien conglomerate isn't the bottom of the iceberg either. We can pinpoint a lot of key facts about it just in this first game. Then you've got G-Man. This godlike thing that we really don't know anything about. We don't know if it's a friend to humanity or an enemy. We have no idea what it actually looks like. We have no idea if it caused the resonance cascade or if it's just some Black Mesa employee who was subject to about 1 million scientific breakthroughs, or if it's an alien, or what. We are absolutely clueless about this thing, and yet, in this final spine-chilling moment, we learn that even this thing has employers. And you know what? I'll bet that this thing's employers are just subcontractors to some even bigger space conglomerate, and that even they have forces that they bow to, and so on and so on and so on. Humanity might have been able to invent teleportation, but we're single-celled organisms compared to the questions out there in the universe. We will never know what is truly going on behind the scenes in the world of Half-Life, because the world of Half-Life is one in which humanity opened the door to questions that absolutely no human could ever answer.
I think that's the end of the... Yeah, that's the end of the video. Okay. Alright. There's a lot to digest. Okay, first of all, my question is... What... I guess... Probably because... I'm so very confused. What is the combine? 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 Is there something that I'm missing? Oh, it's from Half-Life 2. Okay, okay. I have to figure it out after playing Half-Life 2. Okay. Alright. Okay, then without spoilers... let's talk about Half-Life 1 for now. So the Combine is from Half-Life 2. That's a new character, a new concept that I have no knowledge of. So I can't really talk about that. I will have to wait until I finish Half-Life 2 to really talk about it. So I'm just going to leave it out of the picture for now. Like you said, human. Exactly. We only know what Gordon knows. We're just following his POV throughout the story. Everything is just a speculation. I think... At first I saw the crystal. These yellow crystals here. Like, on top of the ones that provide shield to the nihilists. I thought that's what holds power for the teleportation. And then I realized, no. The nihilist has its own ability to, I guess, open up portals. It wouldn't make sense because on your way back to Nyla's room, you have to go through, you know, those crystals all the way on the ceilings. Do those crystals have its own power to open up portals? Or, yeah, does it only amplify its powers? I'm so confused about that. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of power drawn from the crystals. Because while we were fighting him, he was somehow drawing power from those crystals. We couldn't do any damage to him unless we broke the crystals. And these little sparks around him, they seem like power coming from the crystal too. Yeah. His head too. He got one of those big ones in his head. It does feel like it's his core, his power source. However, these crystals are mined throughout the world of Zen. Going to play through the expansion? Yes, I do have plans of playing through them. I think I'm probably going to finish the DLC first, and then moving on to Half-Life 2. I think what confused me the most is probably the factory. Sure, you see them sending over those soldiers, those alien soldiers, on planet Earth. But what is their purpose? To conquer? It seems like the alien soldiers were just sent there to somehow destroy the facility. It doesn't seem like they were trying to start war on Earth. We're trying to conquer. At least not for now. They were trying to take over the facility, but not Earth. It doesn't seem like that. Because I would imagine if they actually want to conquer Earth, they will have to like send in a lot more. I think the Nihilist was pissed that humans were trying to steal the crystals in the past. That could be... I can see that happening. The aliens, they're just mad that we're taking over their resources. Speaking of headcrabs, you know the scientists who become half headcrabs? What are they? Are they just scientists who got eaten by the head crab? What happened there? Yup, but they also have the head crab's hand later on. Like, they don't have human hands. They have those, like, fluffy seaweed-looking hands. They're like zombies, right? Yeah? But we don't see them later on, which is weird to me. I feel like in the later chapters, there's far less enemies like that. Instead of scientists who got, I guess, got the head crab zombie version of the scientist, you see more like Wordgons. You do, but I don't think... Is there? There's far less, for sure. There's not many of them. Because I feel like the scientists that we meet later on, they were either scared or they were like working as a team. I guess it's because they were working as a team, so they actually survived through. That's true. The soldiers might have killed all of the scientist zombies. That's another way of thinking about it. So G-Man, I guess we get to learn more about the job in Half-Life 2, right? Okay, no spoilers, no spoilers. I still want to play the game. No spoilers. But I feel like I shouldn't touch too much on G-Man, because we'll definitely have to learn more about it through Half-Life 2. Maybe more from the expansion packs. Okay, so G-Man, the G stands for government. And they have some kind of employee. I mean, employer. They're some kind of employee of this, whatever it is. I am assuming it's going to be the Combine, whatever it's called. That's going to happen in Half-Life 2. If we got a job at Combine? G is for golf life. Huh? Yeah, we probably need Half-Life 3. To explain all this, we need Half-Life 3. If we want to learn everything about the Half-Life lore, we need HL3. Right now. The expansions are semi-canon. They treat it as canon until it's inconvenient. I see. Wait, so the expansion packs, the ELC stuff, are they fan-made or are they official? Do I think Half-Life 3 is releasing on May 15th? Is that a real date? Actually? Opposing Force and Blue Shift are official. Oh. I see. Official expansions made by a third party. Interesting. Okay, so officials are Opposing Force, Blue Shift, and Decay. Isn't Decay the one? Okay, I saw a video when I was searching up Half-Life 1 lore. I saw a video that was titled something like "Why Everyone Hates Half-Life Decay." Is that the one that's hated by the player base? Why? Oh, it's a split screen co-op? As in, like, I guess a similar title will be A Way Out Or like, what's the new one that came out? Science fiction? Uh-huh. I forgot what it's called. It's a split screen like that? Split fiction! There you go, thank you. Thank you, human. Hello, humans, welcome in! We're just talking about Half-Life and also some of the expansion packs at the moment. Welcome in. Half-Life Decay is just short levels with lots of shooting. It doesn't really capture the feel of a Half-Life game well. Oh, I guess if it's like that, it's understandable why fans do not appreciate it as much. Don't forget HL mods. Yeah, the HL mod called Counter-Strike. It's time to start playing CS. Time to start playing CS, CS2, CSGO, whatever. Echoes? What's wait, I have never heard of Echoes before. Hi, human, welcome in. Glad that you make it. Nice, nice. There are tens of thousands of single player mods for HL. Oh gosh. I don't know if I can stream them. If there's some very interesting mods, I do want to try them out. But because, before me right, we are an agency. I have to make sure that we can use the mod. I'll have to double check. I actually played through Portal 2. I played through Portal 2 with a friend. I have completed it before. I did not know Portal was anything like related to Half-Life until I was doing some research about it. I saw a video talking about how it's like a complete story if you include Portal. Oh yeah, there's another video that I wanted to watch, also from Leadhead. It's a video called Why Half-Life 1 is So Unforgiving. I wanted to watch that one too. Sorry. That just caught me off guard. The human asking, Arcanite's Enfield win? Question mark? That kind of caught me off guard. Good question. Half-Life Enfield? Here's the thing about... Okay, I'm going to make it short because that is not the main, I guess, main theme of today's stream. For Enfield, I am very afraid that I'm going to start the game and find it a little too long to play through because I've heard that the quote-unquote tutorial section about that game is very long. And there's a lot of games that I want to play. There's a lot of games, a lot of great titles, including the Half-Life expansion, Half-Life 2. I still have plans of playing Resident Evil before Requiem gets released. So I am just afraid I'm gonna play it for one stream and stop there. I do want to try it out. It is the new trendiest game, I guess. But I'll have to see. I'll have to see. Maybe it's time to do one of those streams that's like... I will stop anytime, whenever I want to start to do pay to play. Pay to win. The stream ends if I want to swipe my card. That's going to be it. If I swipe, I end the stream. Gacha is indeed scary. Hi. Anyways, that's a little gacha talk. There's also Nike that's waiting for me. But goddamn, the eye trackers. Oh, I did not know your game, eye trackers. $500? Woo! Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll somehow make it happen. It might take a while, though. It might take a while, but eventually. Anyways, back to Half-Life. Let's check out this video together. Why Half-Life 1 is so unforgiving. More content. Let's watch it together. I saw this video and I wanted to check it out. So why don't we do that together? There we go.
Watched a lot of people struggle with Half-Life 1 and not enjoy it as much as they could otherwise.
There's definitely...
Vital signs are dropping.
Why you keep
Half-Life
dying?
is a very unique game. FPS games, especially from that era, are generally less focused on tactics and more focused on raw skill. Half-Life, on the other hand, is about a scientist who's probably never held a gun fighting trained soldiers. Raw skill isn't going to cut it.
Okay, hold on. First, let me pause my background music because I forgot to. Second, I know we're playing as Freeman, a scientist. I keep mentioning it while we're doing our playthrough. Why does this scientist man, who never held a gun or anything, why does he jump so far? Yeah, sure, he's not trained at all, but somehow, this man jumps farther than Mario. How? Like, excuse me? Where did you get all that jumping ability? He was into parkour? Before I became a dad. Oh yeah, you see me running around parks. I was a parkour master, yeah. He was specialized in platforming. The platforming PhD. He is trained. He took the Harvard course. It's funny. Okay, it's funny how, I guess, in this video, Leadhead actually mentioned this game requires a lot of tactical. I just find it kind of funny because now you call games like, CS, Valorant, You call them the tactical shooters? I wonder if it's coming from Half-Life 1 or even the Half-Life series. Is that why they're called the tactical shooters? Anyways, let's continue it. Half-Life 1 speedrun? We can watch that later, after this video. They require tactics rather than Oonga Booga. No more aping them. Considering he was supposed to be teleported to Zen as a part of the experiment, he most likely received some training. Maybe he looked up a YouTube video beforehand. Was there YouTube in 1998?
Going in guns blazing is something that needs to be reserved for very particular moments, where it's either your only option or you've planned everything out ahead of time. Half-Life isn't about combat, it's about combat puzzles. Here's the thing, while I think overall Half-Life 2 is the better game, Half-Life 1 in my opinion has much better gameplay, even with the gravity gun, the super nice grenades, and the fantastic weapons. You just can't beat Half-Life 1 for me, but you really need to switch your brain to a different mode to enjoy it, and do well in it. For the sake of keeping the game from being seen as dated and full of bad design choices, I'm going to try and help you guys get on the right wavelength for this game's style of combat. The game's original tagline was run, think, shoot, live. It's pasted all over the box. But the way that I see people play this game when I introduce them to it is run, shoot, die, reload, run, shoot, live. There's no single dominant strategy that'll carry you through this game. Instead, every encounter will require a bit of improvisation and use of your tools in creative ways. In fact, I was just reading the back of the Half-Life box, and it says, if you thought all action games were the same, think again. Half-Life's intricate environmental challenges, rich storyline, and frighteningly intelligent adversaries add up to a new kind of challenge, one that demands you use your weapons and your wits. Monsters don't walk blindly into your gunfire, they're cunning as hell and they want to live as badly as you do. In order to clarify on what I mean by this, and to hopefully help you enjoy the game more, let's give some examples.
They were writing essays on the box. That's crazy.
Start with the most basic possible combat scenario. You're in a hallway and there's a head crab. You've got no reason to waste your ammo, and there isn't much point in risking your health to kill it, so you can just run past. The game actually puts you in this situation in the beginning to train you in this, but it's asking you to ditch the pre-existing notion that you should be killing every enemy you see, as is the case in, well, almost every other first-person shooter.
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
If combat can be avoided easily, it should be. This game is all about minimizing risk, and with melee enemies, minimizing risk means minimizing exposure. As I said, that's just the most basic example. With Vortigaunts, the game starts to encourage getting a bit more aggressive, but knowing when you should back down. You can take 2 of them without wasting health. You absolutely cannot take 3, at least not with your early game arsenal. Combined with grenades and the shotgun, we're starting to get a bit more tactical. The headcrabs and zombies encourage us to pick our fights, and the Vortigaunt shotgun and grenades encourage us to pick how we...
How did that grenade not break the box? It does feel like, at least playing through the game, it felt more like a puzzle game at points than a shooter game. It doesn't require you to not miss a single shot. Like, missing a couple of shots, you can still live. However, if you don't, I guess, solve the puzzles, if you're trapped in a puzzle, then you're stuck for the rest of the game. Or you get soft locked. Because you made a bad decision.
We handle those fights. This stuff, while awesome, just runs counter to so much experience I had had with games up to this point, and especially games with this kind of movement. You see a character in a 90s game running around like Gordon Freeman can, and you just assume that he's meant to be dashing like a lunatic, shotgunning guys without a care in the world. If this were Doom, you'd be able to dodge this attack, but the only reliable way to avoid damage from a Vort is to get behind something. So this is just basic stuff, little game design decisions to tell you that Gordon Freeman is no Doom guy, and that
What are
allows
you
to think
doing,
about how
Barney?
he handles all of these hazards a bit more than just being the fastest and the strongest. However, it's when the Marines show up that things start to get really interesting, and we have to start really putting this kind of thinking to work. These Marines can totally be fought with tactics that aren't all that different from the ones you use against the Vortigons, with the exception of requiring you to be a bit more mobile, as they're very liberal with grenades if you stay behind a piece of cover for more than a second or two.
The freaking grenades! The freaking grenades! Okay, could we talk about the surface tension grenades? In the freaking hatch? Those grenades landed right on top of me. There's no way the AI doesn't have, like... I am, like, almost 100% sure the AI have some kind of wall hack. Well, not wall hacking, but, like, they know where exactly you are. Somehow, they just know where to throw their grenades. But then, some of these other Marines, they just throw a random grenade under their feet. Like, I don't get it. I don't know if the AI is stupid or smart. At that point, I can't tell if they were programmed to do that, or some of these Marines are just, I guess, less smart than the rest. But then, the ones during the surface tension chapter, at the hatch, they throw some god grenades. Those grenades were crazy. I don't know how they did. I don't know how they do that.
If you really know what you're doing, you can handle these earlier encounters with some simple stop and start gameplay. On hard, however, and during the later encounters on medium, you're going to
Putting them under their feet is supposed to be like a bait, where they run away and you run after them? You say that, but there's so many of them just stood there. And they never run away. The AI was programmed to drop grenades at their feet at low HP too. They're like the Suicide Squad. Literally?
really want to start using your grenades more. The grenades flush your enemies out of cover, and seeing as they can't attack while moving, it's the perfect opportunity for you to take some shots on them. This is a pretty basic tactic. We see this sort of stuff in a lot of games that aspire to a slightly more realistic tone. However, this simple tactic quickly evolves into much more complicated tactics. Using grenades becomes using trip mines, using trip mines becomes chucking C4 around corners into dangerous areas. As you move further and further, it turns into a constant battle of wits. This is a game about outsmarting your enemies. Again, Gordon isn't a soldier, he's a scientist. These HECU soldiers are where I see a lot of players' enjoyment in this game suddenly dip, whereas for me, they're the reason I play this game so often after dozens and dozens of playthroughs. Here's a key phrase that I want to get into a lot of people's heads when I watch them play. Every weapon in Half-Life is useful in a ton of different situations. The pistol is great for long-range combat when you really need to conserve ammo and make every shot count. The crowbar is a constant melee powerhouse and can be used on tons of enemies to get a risk-free kill once you've got your movement down. The SMG is incredibly important in standard combat, as it's your most reliable damage dealer, and its secondary grenade launcher can act as a failsafe if a plan doesn't go as well as you'd hoped. The shotgun is fantastic for defending against ranged enemies and pushing against higher teams.
Okay, this is probably my first time watching someone else playing Half-Life. Like, from this video, this is the first time I saw someone else playing it. And I realized my own gameplay. Most of them is just me trying to use the revolver or headshotting all the Marines. I was fully relying on my FPS skills instead of using the mines, well, I did use the grenades later on because I got a little annoyed, and also we didn't have much revolver ammo for it. Clicking heads was the strategy. Yeah, I think I was more... Exactly. I had my modern gamer mindset. I see a head. Boom! Headshot! Boom! Headshots! I guess I can't really help myself for doing that, because I do play like other FPS games, and it's built in me to try to get those headshots. What? I mean, it did work. I guess it did work for me, so that's good. We gotta conserve all ammo and weapons until something really important needs it. This is how you end up with full ammo and items that are never used. The game is very generous with all the items too. I feel like every time I have to use some kind of ammo, they get refilled right away. Until you're in the world of Zen. Only in the Zen world, I felt like, oh, I don't have enough ammo now. But then, during the Annihilation fight, you still get to go to, I guess, that material room where the healing spring can heal you. You can grab more ammo underwater. HL2 did pretty well on you using grenades, both throwable and launched, as it was a lot more common. I see. Okay. That's definitely true. Now that we have went through Half-Life 1, when we played the DLC and the expansions, I guess I can try using more tactics. More of the throwables. The only thing is... now I look back, whenever I pull out a grenade, they always bounce on a wall or something. There's so many times where I throw the freaking grenade and it will bounce right back to me. I think that's also one of the reasons why I didn't use it as much. I don't know how to use a grenade. They always bounce back! What am I supposed to do? Okay. I'm just like one of the Marines. I am just like the soldiers at the Marine. Oh man.
Tier aliens like the pool squid or the alien grunt. The crossbow works miracles in underwater combat and long-range combat, as it easily outclasses the range on any enemy attack in the game. The revolver is fantastic for when you need to put down multiple dangerous enemies as quickly as possible without using explosives, or when you just need a bit of extra range.
The
RPG can be used to take down snipers, fight heavier artillery, get massive damage on alien grunts, or get yourself out of a horrible situation when you're cornered and tons of enemies are pushing you. The Tau Cannon is another long-range powerhouse that can, once you get used to how much to charge your shots, take down any enemy in a single shot without wasting any more ammo than is necessary. The Hive Hand is an absolute must-have if you're at low health and don't want to risk exposing yourself to enemies, as its primary fire shoots around corners by locking its projectiles onto the nearest enemy. The Glue-On Gun, well, you guys know how powerful this thing is. Save it for situations that literally no other weapon will save you from. The grenades flush enemies out of cover, allowing you to kill them, and of course they're good for snipers. Timed well, they can even be used to take down rushing alien grunts or soldiers. Trip mines require a bit more patience and planning, but they can absolutely be the cornerstone to any plan you come up with. More than almost anything else, remember not to neglect your trip mines. Plastic explosives require a bit more attention to use effectively than trip mines, but they also require a lot less caution to avoid killing yourself with them. Snarks are freaking amazing, and also horribly neglected, as it seems everything in the final weapon slot is. They can be used to mess up enemy formations, they can be used to draw enemy fire away from you, they can be used to weaken an enemy before you deliver the final blow, and if you're liberal with them, you can easily clear out a room of enemies with little to no risk yourself.
I'm kinda sad I didn't grab the
They even
snarks
self-destruct, so you can wait out their rampage, keeping you from having to manually kill them afterwards. Snarks are seriously one of Gordon's most useful tools, but again, like the hive hand, the plastic explosive, the trip mine, or the towel cannon, you just don't see weapons like these in other games. It's so easy to fall back on just using the shotgun and the SMG since they're so familiar, but you'll always be at pathetic health. If you're playing this game the correct way, at least on normal mode, you'll usually be above 50 health. If you're just using your shotgun and SMG to deal with every situation, you'll be at about 16 health for most of your playthrough and constantly loading saves. So, with that brief explanation of every weapon's utility out of the way, let's talk about how you can use these weapons to formulate a plan. For this, we'll look at one of my personal favorite HECU encounters in the game. After leaving the laboratory and questionable ethics, you get to this section. By this point, especially on hard mode, you're hopefully going to be paranoid enough to be checking your corners carefully, and you'll see these soldiers before they see you. This reeks of an ambush, so you better try to destroy the enemy's formation, giving you the advantage. We could use the snarks to do this, as they cause the enemy to run away and enter combat without actually entering combat against you. The plan would pair well with a C4, or a quick shotgun double pump to kill one guy, and leave the other guy running towards the barrels, hopefully catching his hiding buddies off guard, wherever they are. This would bait all of them out into your line of fire, and keep them from shooting at you more than is manageable. With how far away the opposite side of this arena is, you should probably be using the revolver for this fight. You could use the crossbow, but it's generally better for unaware enemies, as a running enemy might be harder to lead your shot onto. But wait, there's explosive barrels here. Normally, you shouldn't use the SMG for such a long-range fight, but if you can get the soldiers to stand near the barrels,
I feel like I'm getting coached right now.
The SMG would be perfect for quickly blowing them up, and you'd get to save your revolver ammo for whatever's coming later. If they don't get too close to the barrels, you can always just switch back to the revolver and finish them off without putting yourself in much more danger.
Snarks.
This is what a lot of your plans in Half-Life look like. Human enemies are way more unpredictable than the aliens, so you can't exactly make a plan where you know precisely how everything is going to go, but with a plan like this, you can take a situation where you don't know what's going to happen, and turn it into a situation where, whatever happens, it's almost certain that you're going to have the tactical advantage. It's not a stealth game by any means, but it's a game where, from something resembling stealth, you can radically change the dynamic of the ensuing fight. Half-Life is all about a slow, methodical setup leading to a quick, dynamic, and unpredictable firefight. If you're approaching the game from this perspective, even if it's your first time, you'll probably die about 20 times over your whole playthrough. At least, until you get to Zen, and almost
Scum loading. Scum loading. Anyways, I do feel like sometimes, at least playing this game, there are parts you just have to kind of like move forth and run through. You have to come up with a plan and try to make it work. He's right. Although, like, maybe I won't choose the exact same thing here. Like, you're always placed in a situation where you have to take down multiple enemies. And that's where it gets hard. Hi, human. Welcome in. Whoa, the cheat of it, was it? What do you mean by cheating? They cheat, was it? Aw. Alright. Go back. Where it is.
These guys actually represent the other kind of encounter that's common in the game, a chaotic one, where you didn't really get to plan out as much as you'd like. This sort of stuff happens constantly in the largely hated chapter on a rail, but that's a story for another day.
What'd I say?
Monorail!
What's it called?
Monorail!
That's right, monorail!
So, these assassins. It's hard for me to imagine fighting these guys for the first time, and having absolutely no idea what's going on. It's
The
such a frantic fight that I
ninjas!
can't even begin to imagine what's going on in people's heads when they fight them for the first time. However, by this point in the game, we've gotten somewhat comfortable with fighting soldiers, taking on vortigaunts, head crabs, and all of that. With so few soldiers in the preceding area, we aren't exactly being as cautious as we are in normal sections until we see this.
Freeman, right? I've got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
Well, we've never heard that kind of gunshot. We didn't even see whatever killed that guard. Time to enter cautious mode, checking out
Horny.
corners and all of that. If it killed that guard without us seeing it, it can probably do the same to us. Well, that caution is exactly how we have to deal with this new, unknown threat. Use your walk modifier to make less noise, that way you can hear their footsteps and they can't hear yours as loudly. Find an area that's not out in the open. Being able to be shot from any direction is suicide. But then you don't have anywhere to run either. Make sure that you never have your back turned to a room's entrance, unless you really need to heal up at a charger station. In general, just be very, very careful. There's a lot of nuance to these assassins' AI that I won't get into here, but what it all builds up to is the simple fact that these guys really want to catch you off guard, and you can't let that happen. This is the central idea that this entire fight revolves around, and the game literally tells you this by showing what happened to a security guard who was caught with his pants down. A smart, methodical player won't be ready for this fight at all, but they can absolutely handle it, even on hard mode, where the assassins are literally invisible. If you've got a lot of SMG grenades, you can beat these guys by being mobile, doubling back so that you catch them trying to ambush you, quickly getting to the high ground, being fast enough that they can't pin you down for more than a second. But the much more reliable strategy is to counter their aggression with extreme defense. This is one of the purest examples of an ambush in the game. The enemies here have so much control over the pace of the encounter, but by being ridiculously defensive and ridiculously careful, you can take back control of the situation. That's the thing about Half-Life. You shouldn't approach these enemies like bad guys in a shooter game. You need to approach them as a problem to solve. Using one strategy and some top-tier aiming isn't going to be enough to do well in this game. You're going to need to adapt to every situation the game puts you in, and treat each encounter like a new puzzle to solve. I think at this point, it won't surprise you when I say that the best way to handle this game is to enter a room, observe the room, and then decide on what moves you should be making. This way of thinking extends beyond the combat too. I've watched a handful of people get to this level right here and have a huge amount of trouble. They see that sign that says that there are mines ahead, and so they try to stay out of the sand, or only go to places that landmines wouldn't be, but they inevitably get caught by the landmines and die. Then they load a save and try again, with the goal of memorizing where all the landmines are. I want to emphasize that you don't need to save scum to beat this game by any means. Your inventory items are tools first and weapons second. To clear a minefield, you've got snarks, grenades, bullets, and above all else, logic. If you can make the jump to this rock...
Wait, the snarks also triggers the landmines? They're like tiny though. I guess. That makes sense. Aren't they too light for it?
Formation, go for it. You know there isn't going to be a landmine there. Maybe you can jump to another rock, but where do you go now? A little bit more brute forcing this and you'll make it through, but there's an easier way. Just spray your machine gun all over an area, or throw a couple snarks until you see an explosion. This means that you've hit a landmine, which means there's no longer a landmine there. Now you can just jump onto the scorch mark with confidence. Or, hey, if you're in a rush, you can use a grenade to trigger several mines at once, clearing more of the area. As I said, you can mostly brute force your way through this section, only having to load your save 2 or 3 times. But a bit later, you come across this section. I'll concede that this sniper nest is kind of poorly designed, and it may convince you that you can't take out snipers with grenades. But regardless of that, after dealing with this
I
sniper,
hate these
you have to cross
snipers.
another minefield. Only this time there are no rocks to jump on, and no logic to figure out where the landmines might be. If you don't come up with any other way to detect the landmines, it's pure brute force here. If you have to load your save over and over, it's safe to assume that you're doing something wrong, and then hopefully using the MP5 to clear out the mines will occur to you. Ideally, however, if you're playing this game the right way, you'll see that there's a minefield, and rather than risking your life on a gamble, you'll think like a theoretical physicist would and figure out a better way.
Not your MP4.
Or maybe you walk into this room back in office complex and see that the water has an electrical current flowing through it from the ceiling light, and you'll instantly think, I need to find a light switch. Or you'll see the barrels flowing through this toxic sludge and think, there's no way that would support my weight. Or you'll be trying to turn on the electricity when you see this piece of machinery that has crates shoved in it, and realize that breaking the crates would free its pistons, hopefully helping you to get the power back on. This game is loaded with puzzles where the solution is to do what would be logical in that situation if you were in the real world. But I think that the age of the game makes people think in more abstract video gamey terms, whereas something like Prey can present similar problems, and players tend to apply more real-world logic to them. I've tried to get a ton of my friends into Half-Life, and I've seen so many of them get to sections like this, and just walk through the water, tanking the damage. And I can only imagine what's going on in their head is something like, it's stupid that this game is making me take damage here, but that's just how old games are, I guess. And I'm not knocking them at all for that. It's just a simple fact that while the art direction is great, this game's visuals are incredibly dated, especially when compared to how realistic the tone is. Sure, you're fighting fantastical monsters, and you're surviving a ridiculous amount of damage, and you never need a toilet break or a power nap, but beneath all of that, this game wants to be believable. It wants you to do what you would actually do if you were in Gordon's situation, and hell-bent on not staying put. The graphics betray just how realistic this game wants to feel. It tries to train you to respond to situations.
You're trying to make me do crouch jumping! I see how it is.
Realistically, with things like this first headcrab encounter showing you that it's okay to run from enemies if it's the smarter thing to do, but it doesn't force you to deal with situations more realistically. It's perfectly fine with just sitting there, watching you die for the 100th time, and just letting you load your save that you made 10 seconds earlier. This might be controversial, but it's my opinion that if this game didn't let you save wherever you wanted, and wasn't as...
I like how I leave the mark on the wall, how the laser actually interacts with the corpse. I like this part. I think this part was really impressive. Once you load into the game, and it happened like, I don't know, 20 minutes in. This was really impressive to me. I really like this part. I guess this kind of set the tone. It's supposed to be a lot of puzzle solving. You need to figure out a way to go through the lasers without getting harmed. There's where the strategy comes in. Either a dumb Gordon or a smart Gordon. There's no dumb Gordon or a smart Gordon. Only dumb players or smart players. Hello, Hima, welcome in. Why do they just have pipes full of lasers? That's a great question. There's more than one, too. There's like 4 different laser pipes. Out of nowhere.
Well, bad when it comes to where it autosaves. Players would appreciate it a lot more by the time they were done. They'd be forced to adapt, rather than heavily encouraged to. You do this, you make the move speed a little bit slower and add a run button, and without any other changes, this game would go from being played as an especially difficult shooter to being played like its tagline says it's meant to be, as a game that's about a simple cycle. Run, think, shoot, live.
You said the title! You said it! Well, another thing? Okay, hold on. But this bridge here... Wait. I remember crashing out because of this bridge. The random bridge that's here, and it leads to absolutely nothing. The bridge that baited me to die. You might be right. You might be right. This game does want you to feel it's like the real life. You're not supposed to be You're not supposed to be that greedy and jump over for absolutely nothing. You had a greater purpose. You walk on the rope, not the planks? That's exactly what I did. However, the first few tries, we did slip off. Because I did not expect it to be like that. The second time, after the reload, I was definitely a lot smarter with my choices. Anyways, let's see. Did we watch the speedrun? Half-Life 1 speedrun. Okay. I'm pretty sure to understand the whole lore, I definitely have to play Portal. I should maybe play it. Portal 1. The single player one. Half-Life 1 speedrun. TAS or human done? I want to watch the human one. Okay, I searched it up, and the first thing that popped up was Half-Life in 20 minutes and 41 seconds. I'm not sure which one this is. Let's watch this together. This one probably doesn't have any talking, so we can talk over it while we watch the speedrunning. Okay, so this is the TAS one. Okay, here we go. Let's watch it from the very beginning. Play Portal only after finishing HL2 and Episode 2? Oh, okay. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, what does this take? He's like bee hopping. The athlete. For real?
Looks like you're in the barrel today.
Aren't you supposed to be in the test chamber hopping on the wall?
Maybe this is how Gordon Freeman was built to be. Maybe we're all just bad Gordons. Slow Gordons.
Ah, of course.
What is this POV? Oh, is he pushing the scientists so they walk faster? This is the Canon Freeman. Olympic medalist Gordon Freeman.
Deviating a bit from standard analysis procedures today, Gordon.
Yes, but with good reason.
You still have to watch them.
For us. This is the purest sample
Push him
we've
in.
seen yet.
And potentially the
Keep
most
pushing.
unstable.
Stop talking.
Now, if you follow
It's a
standard
speedrun.
insertion procedures, everything will be fine.
I don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is extremely unlikely.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. We've assured the administrator that nothing will go wrong.
Ah, yes, you're right. Gordon, we have
I love
complete
how
confidence in you.
Well,
Gordon's just like,
go
please,
ahead.
please,
Let's
just
let him in.
open the door for me. Oh my gosh, the parkour!
Everything seems to be in order.
What is this parkour?
All right, Gordon. Your suit should keep you comfortable
The specimen will be delivered to you in a few moments. If you would be so good as to climb up and start the rope.
The movement text. The actual movement text? This is insane.
Until the carrier arrives.
That's sad. You have to wait until they finish talking. Where the hell is he standing?
We'll take it from here.
Power to stage 1 in
He's floating!
3, 2, 1. I'm seeing predictable phase arrays.
More like Spider-Man. Freeman?
Stage 2 emitters activating now.
Gordon, we cannot predict how long the system can operate at this level, nor how long reading will take.
Oh my
Please,
gosh.
work as quickly as you can.
Overhead capacitors to 105%.
I don't know if it's because we're watching a speedrun. I'm just watching, and my ADHD brain is telling me like, please just somehow skip the story part. I want to keep watching him doing godlike movements. We're stuck in the dialogue. Oh my! What the hell? How did he make that jump? Oh my fucking god. Crabhead? What's that? Completely ignored the scientists falling on the elevator. What the hell am I watching? Okay, those crabhead haven't even finished teleporting. And he already run through all of them. What the fuck? What the fuck? The bridge was supposed to collapse. He just jumped through it. Oh. He does not care.
So much.
He just accidentally shot Barney. Poor Barney.
I can't hold on much longer.
I seem to be wounded, but I can keep going.
What the fuck? Huh? That must be a glitch, right? That has to be a glitch. Oh my... The elevator is so slow. Go up faster. Holy! Huh? Am I tripping? Did he just... Okay, this is where the dogs are, no? No. It's where the alien, the fan is, and then I have to go back to the aliens. Okay, so you still have to activate all the plum. Oh my. He gets healed too? Okay. Oh, here we go. Unreal. He boosted himself up with the mines? You can do that? No trap needed. Just b-hop your way through. Why do you need it? You don't need it. Did he just use that box to defend himself from turret? Huh? I feel like I'm watching a wizard. This is some kind of witchcraft wizard magic that I'm watching. Is this even possible for human movements to do? Like... bee-hopping? He didn't even watch the rocket. What? Okay, he's outside of the map. The glitch is unreal. How does people find out things like this? This is insane. Oh, G-Man! I remember seeing G-Man for the first time around that area. What the? Did he just boost himself up with the SMG grenade? What?
I see it.
That's only half of the video.
Where are we taking this Freeman guy? Topside for questioning. What the hell for? We got him. Let's kill him now. And if they find the body? Body? What body?
Holy shit. Wait, I didn't know you can walk on that ledge. Watching this? Watching this low-key tells me how much I lack creativity with my gameplay. I do not imagine there's a lot of ledges that you can jump onto. Wanna try this? I don't know if I can. He's just jumping through everything. Literally everything. The mines, the conveyor belts, everything. Oh, it's the haunt. You can jump through that?
Hey, it's no good.
He just did a drive-by. Oh, I never grabbed the snarks from here, too. I probably should have. This is where the lasers are, right? Do I have to set off the lasers? That has to be a glitch. That has to be a glitch. I'm surprised the scientists actually survived that. Well, that's no longer the case. With those gunshots, that's no longer the case. What was that? Hold on. Wait, what the fuck? I need to watch that jump again. Huh? What the fuck? Huh? Oh my... What the hell? It gets crazier and crazier. The movement. Look at his movement. Holy shit. Hey! What the hell? Why does he have 4,000 health? Excuse me? Why does he have 4,000 health? 4,738 health. What? This has to be the mutant free man. It's so quiet. You just hear the bird. Oh my gosh. Was that much health? He does not care. He's just grenade spamming. boosting everywhere. He doesn't care. He doesn't have to care.
I apologize.
Music. Sonic boost pads. He does not need the water. He does not need the coolants. He just boosted himself up. Portals? What's that? Don't need them. Never heard of them before. This is the technology that you were all trying to use? I don't need that. Okay. Zen? Oh, Zen is supposed to be great. Here we go, teleportation. Does he still have to fight him? Fight the spider? Oh, okay. So you'll still have to fight the spider. Okay, using the mine seems so much easier. I should have done that. Why was I trying to shoot him? The spiders. I'm actually learning from the speedrun. This is crazy. There's a new glitch that lets you skip the wall. You can skip Gonark. But what do you mean there's a new glitch? Like someone found a new glitch? Here we go. The actual parkour stage. He just blew up the whole place. What the fuck? Oh, he has 1 HP though. Can you do it with 1 HP? Of course he can! Oh, the snark? Is he going to put a snark inside? Huh? He just... What? I didn't even notice he killed it already! It was so fast! I didn't even realize he already killed it. I was like, wait, is he going to put the snark inside the baby's head? Is that how he's going to end it all? Nope. The job is already done. He already finished it. Wow. "20 minutes." That was crazy. That was actually crazy. So this one is TAS, right? What does TAS stand for? Teacher's Assistant Standard. Two assisted run. Two assisted speedrun. Like what tools? Is there a universal speedrun tool out there? So this was awesome. Even if it was tool assisted, that was amazing. Especially, it took me how many hours? 15 hours to complete the game? And this guy just do it in 20 minutes. That's crazy. That's insane work. This video was great. You're gonna love some HL2 speedrun. They get really funny. I'll have to watch it after I finish the game. I'll have to watch it. This is crazy. I love how people do these kind of things. Always trying to find like a glitch to do these speedruns. And the fact that now you can even skip the spider fight. That's crazy. People are still trying to figure out new glitches, new ways of making the time shorter. Wow. That is just wow. The dedication and also the love that they have on the game. Oh my gosh. In the late 2000s, the perfect run was in for 1 hour to complete this game. Is that the human speedrun? The community can find out a lot of things in 20 years. Isn't it just crazy to think about how long it's been? And the community is still, I wouldn't say growing, but it's still such a stabilized community. There's still so many people who love the game. And they're still trying to figure out new things about it. And probably making new mods, new game modes out of it. Speedrunners always manage to change the way I play games. Exactly. They're kind of mind-blowing. So many moments during this video right here. I feel like my brain got expanded. I'm like, why didn't I thought about doing it this way? Well, of course, I don't think I can do the bunny hop. I don't think I can do the bee hopping. But still, it's so creative. The way they approach the game. You really have to like think outside of the box. Okay, hold on. Wall made a mistake. Instead of that door hurting you, it heals you instead when you block it. So you get 4,700 health from that? Is there a cap for it? Can you have like 10k health from the door? Imagine having 10k health. You don't even care about the soldiers hitting you. They're like little mosquitoes, real mosquitoes, trying to bite you. They don't do real damage to you at all. That would be so crazy. You're almost like playing a different game. It's funny too, sometimes the speedrunners are the other way. They don't know some stuff about playing casually. From their POV, the casual gameplay is also a mystery to them. They don't play it that way. It really comes down to the player in the end. How you play the game, how you approach them. Inherited like quick one. Okay, here's the thing. I'm very new to retro games, right? And watching this, I can only compare it to stuff that I watch and the stuff that I play. And watching the speedrun, if there's anything that I want to compare with, it's probably Octane from Apex. And the fact that Octane was actually on drug. Octane is on drug. Rayman, he's not. Dude, it's just a normal science guy, but somehow he's doing this crazy parkours, these grenade jumps, grenade boost. That's crazy to think about. I always like to imagine what the player character must look like from the NPC's perspective in a speedrun. Imagine Barney just looking at him, randomly, accidentally getting shot. Oh gosh, I have to open door for this guy again? It's the 700th time he's been doing this. What is he trying to do? So hard. Speedrunners probably have a different mindset whenever they approach a game. But that was awesome. Half-Life in 20 minutes and 41 seconds. That was awesome to watch. It's good to know that things like this actually exist. Soldiers managed to capture Gordon in this gameplay? Did they really capture him? They only captured the shadow, a little glimpse of him. Alright. Oh gosh, I see another video. Half-Life opposing force in 16 minutes and 30 seconds. By the same guy, by this guy. Quad. Be me more human. Quad double for you.
Hi woo woo, thanks for the financial luck you've given me to start the year. I've been out of work for about 6 months, but I was finally able to land a job and just started today. I will continue to trust and invest in woo woo coin for big gains and great luck.
Wait, congratulations, Yaman! Let's go! Congrats! Holy moly, wait. That's such great news. In this economy too? You found a job? Wait. You're not working for G-Man, right? It's an actual job, right? If it's an actual job, in that case, congratulations. Congrats! That makes me so happy, actually. Let's fucking go! I hope the new job will treat you well. Let me send you all the luck. You will do minimum work but get overpaid. That's my blessings on you. Good luck with it. Good luck on your new job. Hope you get a raise too. That's a great accomplishment to start the year off. there another... Let's see. Let me search it up. Half-Life 1 speedrun. How speedrunners beat Half-Life in 26 minutes. Speedrun explained. Scriptless. Scriptless? Are a human doing it? Wait, what is this video? Surviving the bad ending in Half-Life 1? Huh? They survived? How? Sorry, I know we were just watching the speedruns, but now I got really curious to this one too. You can survive it? Oh, is this a mod? Wait, hold on. Let's watch it together. You know what? Let's just watch it together. Okay, so they see G-Man at the end.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit, I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapons. Most of them were government property. As for the suit, I think you've earned
I
it.
see. That's why the G is government.
The border world, then.
Okay, we're kind of going back to the lore, right? So from this place... At first, I thought the aliens that we were killing on Zen, we were somehow the Lulu, and we killed the soldiers. We thought the soldiers were aliens, but they were indeed Marines and soldiers. But Freeman was actually the Lulu and killed them. First, I thought that was the story. That was why we were showing this place. Was all these corpses, the tanks, you know, all of the Marines. But now watching the lore video, now I don't think that's the case. I don't think so. That's not it. Something else happened. This might be just the aftermath of Marines trying to intervene with the Zen world. They were trying to mine the crystals. They were trying to kill the aliens. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Is in our control for the time being, thanks to you. Quite a nasty piece of work you managed over there. I am impressed.
So this is non-canon. Okay.
That's why I'm here, Mr. Freeman. I have recommended your services to my employers. And they have authorized me to offer you a job. They agree with me that you have limitless potential.
Watching that Freeman fly around, of course. Yeah,
You've
unlimited
proved
potential
yourself a
for
decisive man,
sure.
So I don't expect you'll have any trouble deciding what to do. If you're interested, just step into the portal and I will take that as a yes. Otherwise, well, I can offer you a battle you have no chance of winning.
Official is that the Marines?
Rather an anticlimax after what you've just survived. Time to choose.
So this is where the choice,
It's
the illusion
time to
of
choose.
choice was given.
Well, it looks like we won't be working together. Regrets, Mr. Freeman, but there are a few survivors of your personal Holocaust who would like the chance to be responsible.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so this is non-canon. A mod that you can play through? random science guy out of nowhere. Dropping a crowbar. Of course. The best weapon of them all. Is it the teleporter? This is called Half-Life Anti-Climax. What is he waiting for? The red one? This feels like a if storyline. Like if G-Men actually sent Freeman back to the Zen world. I'm guessing it's fan-made and they expected. They imagine that the story will go like this. After G-Man, after making your choice, you're sent back to the world of Zen. These stingrays? You know how the video talked about the Wartogons, the alien controllers? But these guys are just transportation, right? At least in the video, these guys are just purely transportations. These stingray stuff, meta ray, whatever it's called. Oh hey, it's G-Man. Just nods at him. It was confirmed G-Man is present in all timelines at the same time as the same person. As the same person? Usually in parallel universe, they are not the same person. They can exist in different timelines at the same time. But as the same person is kind of crazy. So no matter what ending you choose, G-Man will always be G-Man. We get to know more in the other games. Alright, hold on. Let's keep that after we finish Half-Life 2. Well, only if Half-Life 3 will actually come out. Then we'll truly understand what's going on. might get GTA 6 before HL3. We'll see. Imagine HL3 actually came out before GTA 6. That would be even funnier. I think that would be even more ironic. It will come out this year. Surely, HL3 this year? 2026? Back at the factory. Failing to jump. Shaking my finger. What the? Huh? It was supposed to be announced at the end of last year. Well, you know why. They're all working on Deadlock. Once we get Steam Deck 3, we'll get HO3. Trust. Waiting. Both of you to think they will release a third Steam Deck. You're right. It will always stop at number 2.
Power 15%.
All the water guns are now working for him? Wait, what? Kill the soldiers! You can do it! No, stop running away! Oh no. Cost of rebellion. A new revolution was about to happen, but all of its people are dead.
Wisely done, Mr. Freeman. Quite a nasty piece of work you managed over there. I am impressed.
What the hell? What is this place? Is that going to be another Freeman?
See
There are
that.
Cloning Freemans? What? In a bar? Somewhere in New Mexico.
Oh my. Gordon! Man, am I glad to see you. Gordon.
Oh, look at
You're
them.
alive. Thank God for that
It's a
hazard
scientist
cereman.
team.
Who would have thought
Science
you'd still be
team,
alive?
Barney.
I thought I had a long night. You look like hell.
Oh, thank God you made it.
I would really like to call.
What is this? Why is there Yaoi? Why is there BL in Half-Life? What is this? Gordon's live before Resonance Cascade? I did not expect the Half-Life Yaoi. I did not expect it. Serena make this mod? Serena Michael? She's secretly a programmer. Why didn't you help me? It was our gem project. Come on. Okay. That was quite interesting. And this is not the only mod that you have in Half-Life. World record Half-Life scriptless speedrun in 25 minutes and 48 seconds. Holy shit! Someone has done it 4 months ago. It's kind of crazy. That's awesome. Oh, I was wrong! Wait, humans, you know how I mentioned Half-Life the Cave being like the one that everyone hates? I was wrong. I remembered it wrong. It was why everyone hates Half-Life Source. Is this a mod? Half-Life Source is the most controversial game in the series. The Source version is broken? Broken how? Like, the game is unplayable? Broken? It's Half-Life 1, but in an updated engine after a couple of years. Okay, so the official Source engine port was very neglected and became very buggy as the engine updated forcibly. So they tried to make a remaster, but it didn't work well. Noted. Noted. I want to click on more of these videos. I'm not sure if it includes Half-Life 2 content or not. So there's a lot of videos that I don't want to watch today. And maybe we can save it. We can save it for after we finished Half-Life 2. And also all of the expansion stuff. So they were experimenting with the new engine, but it failed. And that's how Half-Life Source was made. They were cooking, but they failed. Unfortunate. Well, I guess if I want to play a remastered version... Black Missile... The fan-made version will probably be the one, right? Yeah, to avoid spoilers, there are a lot of videos that I won't click on today. And I'll simply just wait until I finish Half-Life 2. Half-Life opposing force in 16 minutes and 30 seconds? We'll have to save this one too. This one is on the watch list. There's a lot of story summaries, including Portal. Oh. There's a documentary for it? Or is it like a game dev documentary on the making of the game? Submit your watts as a speedrun. My 15 hours speedrun. I don't know if there's a speedrun on that. Nope. Oh, that's cool. So for the 20th anniversary, they released a documentary about them. That'll be a cool watch afterwards. A few hours? That should be okay. I mean, we're just watching and chat. It's like a Zatsu stream, but we just have it playing on the back. Half-Life has more life than modern games. I can agree to that. I think a lot of modern games definitely lack personality. But there are some great ones that are coming out too. Okay, this is very unrelated. But just on the topic of gaming. Well, first I play Apex, right? A little bit about myself, humans. I play Apex. I enjoyed the game. And I think today they launched a new game from the same game devs. It's called High Guard? High something. It's a new game that they released. And apparently, I saw a couple of Twitter posts saying that everyone hated it. Me myself, I haven't touched it yet. I was only reading about the reviews on the game. High Guard, thank you. Oh no, Hytale is the Minecraft, the survival craft game. That's a different one. The High Guard is supposed to be a FPS game. You can mount on horses and there's like different game mechanics. People were hyped about it because it seems like a fun game. But apparently, the game itself is very overwhelmingly negative. Is their current review status at the moment on Steam. Apparently, the player base did not enjoy the game. There's only bad opinions so far, with rare occasional positive reveals on it. It is free, yes. It's called High Cards. And I think people does not enjoy it as much. Mostly because the bad optimization. And also just simply the gameplay feels like it's lacking some more tweaks. Currently, I think it's released about 5-6 hours. It's launched for 5 to 6 hours, and it already got 10k reviews that are mostly negative. That's kind of crazy. I think most people are struggling because of the optimization. Even with the power PCs, people are failing to really play the game. And that definitely pissed off some of the players. And I guess that's mostly because of the visuals. Like, games nowadays, they try to make the game so visually pleasing. The optimization just becomes pretty bad. It becomes, honestly, the part that stops people from playing. I feel like even I personally like, I guess, the old 8-bit started visualization of older games. Although I don't really play them, I enjoyed them. Like, data visuals are perfectly fine for me. I don't think they need to put in that much work on the visualization. Just focusing on the game, on the gameplay itself, will make the game so much more fun. And people, I think players will play it more just because of the game, instead of the visuals. I am definitely on team gameplay when it comes to that aspect of the game. Well, obviously, it's cool to have skins and like look pretty in the game. But if that becomes a barrier to the optimization and the gameplay, then is it really even worth it to have that? People are tired of PvP shooters. It's hard to say because PvP shooters are easier to market. With how advanced socializing online becomes, I think people enjoy playing games with their friend. They like the co-op aspect. They like the PvP, trying to like go against other players. I think it's so much easier to market if you have a game that's good and also like have that social aspect to it. Especially on this generation. I guess the new gamers who actually play games nowadays, they like the PvP shooters. Kids love Fortnite. Kids love Roblox. And it is what it is. Unfortunately, that's how it is. You know how I keep mentioning Resident Evil Requiem? But who's actually going to play that? Who's actually going to play that? Probably people who are already 20 and up. I don't think people in their, 10th generation will play it. Simple as that. They might play their gacha game. They might play Fortnite. How many of them will actually play a single player game in 2026? It's just the die-hard fans. It's the people who have already played the series. I want to play it because I played Resident Evil 2 and I liked it. I enjoyed the game. So that's why I'm looking forward to it. But who else is going to actually get into it in like 2026? The 10, 7 years old are not interested in that. But if it's a PvP, if it's free, and you have good visuals and cute skins, people will play it. That's true. And I don't blame the game devs trying to make it more marketable. It is what it is. Did you ever play Fortnite since Kitsuna I was added? No. I was going to, but I never did. I guess Fortnite. Probably because I play no build. But if I'm going to play no build, I would just play something else. Instead of Fortnite, I would just play Apex, PUBG, or Fortnite. I mean, I did it for Hatsune Miku. I played a couple games because of her. But that was it. What else motivates me to play Fortnite? I don't think there's anything. But that's just me personally. That's my personal opinion on it. I just enjoy other games more than Fortnite. I don't like the recoil stuff on Fortnite. That is all. Yeah, if a friend actually asked me, should I expose her? There is one Fortnite player in Aura Rain. There is a Fortnite player. Komo Doku Eki. She is the Fortnite player. I'm just gonna say it. Komo might be the only person who plays Fortnite. Sari, I know she plays it. But if there's anyone who enjoys it, I think Komo will be the one. But even still, I feel like Komo will be more likely to play Valorant instead. If anything, Fortnite is kind of out of the picture. Komo was in a Fortnite tourney last year. Ram sometimes play Fortnite. But you see, these are sometimes. Are they addicted to them? Do they play it whenever they have time? I doubt it. I doubt it. Put together a trio for High Guard. Then why can't they just play Apex with me? If we have a trio, why not just play Apex with me? Why are we playing High Guard? That's my little vent. There's someone who I really wanted to play Apex with. Yeah. I feel like for a lot of these hack shooters or any shooter games, if it's PvP, you probably need a purpose to be playing it. I don't think V4 Mira is the place to find people to play Apex with. If that's why, I would just join Wispo. Marvel Rivals and Overwatch are a different PvP shooter. They work differently. Marvel Rivals is not really up my alley, so I played a little bit and I stopped. Anyways, somehow we have changed the topic to tactical and PvP shooters. But what I was trying to say is that I don't blame devs trying to make games are more marketable for the upcoming generations of gamers. It makes sense. I don't blame them wanting to do that. But also, me starting to play more retro and old games, it had changed a lot of my perspective on gaming in general. And I like how the older games have much more details and options. And that's why I keep playing more and more of them. There's definitely a lot of places, a lot of these older games that reminds me of what modern games feel like. You see these gimmicks in modern games too. But some of the older games definitely make the gimmick a lot more, I guess, important to the gameplay, to the story, instead of just having it there being a cool gimmick that you can do. See me more human. I'll double it for you.
You're cultured and based.
Don't say that! Wait! Thank you, woman. Thank you for that, but I don't think I'm cultured and based. First of all, I am so new to retro games. I feel like all I have been doing is trying to like go into that memory lane and understand where all these games came from, you know? I am far away from being cultured. But I'm glad I decided to look at all those older games, the retro games. They seem like a lot of fun. Process to getting cultured. That's a better way to put it. I think that's a better way to put it. I'm not yet cultured. I'm learning. I'm studying. Yeah, it really does. Seeing a lot of the gimmicks in older games just makes me feel like, oh, so that's where this new modern game kind of referenced from. And I guess that also helped me appreciate more if there's a new gimmick in a modern game. That would be like, oh, someone finally found something that's new. That's awesome. It's like opening my eyes to some new matters I did not know of. You have to study the history in order to learn the new stuff. And I like that. So, with that being said, I think we should call it a day today. We're gonna come back to more Half-Life. The news is out. So I'm going to officially talk about it. Even in my schedule, I was being very vague about Minecraft because I released the early schedules this week. So it was just like morning Minecraft stream. But that is not the one I wanted to open. There you go. But there's going to be Minecraft VSMP! Yeah! I am invited to join VSMP2 Farm Life. I'll be finally playing Minecraft. I wanted to do some Minecraft building, but ended up doing them off stream with a friend because I couldn't get my Minecraft account set up. I was using my personal Minecraft account and there was some trouble setting it up. But finally, everything is resolved and I can play Minecraft and I will be joining VSMP. There's going to be a lot of cute girls. I'm quite excited to join. Hope we'll have a fun farming life. That being said, probably Half-Life, RE4, all of these games that I plan to play in the near future. It will come a little bit later because I want to enjoy my farmer's life on Minecraft on the server. So there's going to be a couple more Minecraft content with a few, I guess, shorter games in between. Yeah! I think I will enjoy the Minecraft experience. I have never played on the Farmers mod, so this is going to be very new to me. I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot. But yeah, I will be there for the opening day. It's going to happen February 1st. First thing in the morning, I will be streaming Minecraft. And we're gonna continue our retro game arc. And we're gonna continue it with Terra Senpai. Tomorrow, it's not my usual time, but we will be playing Metal Slug. We will be playing Metal Slug 3 for the first time ever in the afternoon. And Dark Souls 1, of course, the usual stuff. There is a schedule change because I forgot Thursday I have a meeting. So I switched it up. It's going to be Baki watch along with the members without the Lucky Womans at 7 PM PST on the Thursday instead of the Friday. And I will be playing Dark Souls on the Friday instead. And that will be my usual time, 3 PM PST. So a little bit of a swap, a schedule change. Other than that, I will be also talking about Zootopia 2. Zootopia 2! And how and why all the Chinese girls are gushing over Nick Wilds, apparently. I did some human observations, and I'm here to report back. if any of these streams interest you, feel free to come by. If you enjoyed today's reactions to Half-Life, make sure to subscribe and also leave a comment on what retro game that you will want me to play in the future. I will take notes and we'll see. As we were like Nick Wilde, hello pink woman. Do I like him? Well, you will find out. There's only one way to find out. Come to the Wednesday stream, and then you will know if I like furries or not. We'll keep the suspense. Am I a furry lover? We'll see. We'll see. Alright, let me set up a raid. Ooh. Horse model kit. Interesting. I'll be reading into Kaya Nishikino, who is doing the Uma Musume model kit at the moment. Huh. Interesting. I did not know they have model kits. That got me very curious. Yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. 大家明天见，谢谢大家今天来看我的直播。如果你喜欢今天的直播，记得订阅和喜爱这个视频。今日の配信を楽しんでいただいたら、ぜひ高評価とチャンネル登録お願いします。では、バイバイ。おつー。おつおつおつー。バイバイ。